Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video we're going to be doing some small jobs on the new Bolens HT23. Now the reason why we're only doing some small jobs is because we don't have that much workshop time left today, because we were meant to do something this morning, but as soon as we were about to head out for doing it after getting up kind of early to do it, the weather was quite bad and it got cancelled what we were going to do. So we basically just sat inside sulking all morning, then had lunch, and here we are now. But we have done a couple of small jobs off camera. The first of which being unseizing the brake, which took quite a lot of penetrating fluid, which we put on a lot of things. And then we managed to get quite a large bit of what looked like a bit of dried oil mixed with grass or something like that off quite a large amount of the mechanism, and that also helped to free it up. And now, after all of that, I can push that down easily, and if I let go, it springs itself back up again, as it should do. The other thing that we've done already today is we've tested the lights. Now we got our tester, you can see if it works it shows the light. What we've done is we've tested the two live points at the switch, and then we've tested the live points on the back of the lights, and it is giving power to the lights, which shows that it's the lights that are broken, not the switch or any part of the wiring between them. As you can see, we did tick off these two jobs earlier, but we've also added all of the things from the last video on this tractor to the list, and we've added lights onto the to-buy list. But between videos, we've had a couple of packages, which were the air filter and the pre-filter, which we're going to be installing today. And of course the first step towards that is taking the cover off the air filter.
Previous owners welded washers onto many of these bolts, which makes it a bit easier to get off, but it is quite odd.
Yes. I'll show you in a second once I've got this off. There you go. As Dad said, it does make it a lot easier to get leverage on it. So there you go. And you can see the air filter that has pretty much had it with no pre-filter on it at all. But one thing we do need to do first is clean out all of the muck that's in there. Thanks to the magic of video editing, it's all cleaned up now, and we have the new filter and pre-filter on there, which will hopefully make this run a lot nicer. Another job on our non-essential to-do list is to make up a new negative battery cable, but we've just checked in our stores and we don't actually have the crimp for this end of the cable, so we're going to have to improvise with this. And what we're going to do is take this battery end off and then feed this around the back here, then shorten this down and then put this back on so that it's all neat and tidy around the back instead of how it is now, which is currently bending there. But other than this is quite loose, and so is actually the positive as well, which isn't in the best of shape also, but as I said, we're improvising since we don't have very much in our storeroom at the moment. We've sorted out the cables now. We didn't show you. It didn't actually take us that long, but you can see that goes down there, and this it appears to be a kind of extension for the earth cable going to the engine. We're not very happy about the quality of the earth cable on this end, which was actually in here. You can see that's just folded over, and that shows you the quality of the cable. So we will be ordering some cable, but obviously next day delivery, even if you go for that, it won't appear on your doorstep in about 1 minute's time. so we can't fix it today. Final job for today then is something we noticed when we were actually doing the battery cables and isn't on our list. And that is where the bonnet meets the hinge. You can see it's actually been bent over and then bolted on, with the bolts going in that way rather than the bolts going in that way if it wasn't bent. So what we're hoping to do is just take the bonnet off, unbend that and then bolt it back on the right way. And the consequences of it being how it is currently is if I close the bonnet, you can see this overlaps the dash a bit too much, and that might actually be why that's broken in that place. But once we've fixed it and taken it back to original, it will push the bonnet forwards a bit and get rid of that issue. To get the bonnet off here, we were trying to take the bonnet and this hinge off from these bolts, but when we tried to undo it, they were extremely tight. So we've just put some penetrating oil on them for the moment, and we're going to undo these bolts first instead.
It looks as though they're metric bolts as well, which is not helpful.
Yes, some must have changed them. With the bonnet off the tractor now, you can easily see how this is bent, and it's meant to be like the rest of this, just going across here flat. But as you can see, we've clamped this bit of angle iron on to the bottom of here to almost use an anchor, and then use vice grips to hopefully bend it over a little bit. And then to finish it off, we'll use a hammer and weight, but we won't record that because it'll be extremely noisy. We've bent the bonnet back now, and it's pretty much as straight as we think we can get it. And now it's time to put it back on. We don't actually have any imperial bolts that we can switch for the metric ones, so we're going to have to reuse the bolts that were already on there. We've got the bonnet sitting on now. With the hinge in the right place, it's actually quite difficult to do up the bolts. What we usually do is do the two outside ones with the hood done up and then open the bonnet to do the middle one. But I've already done the other two just to make it easier, and now this is the last one. We now have the bonnet fully on, and you can see how it fits with the current dash. But if I take the straps off quickly and lift up the bonnet, you can actually see where it's meant to be, which is this lower lip here, where this bolt is going around. But a previous owner's put this plasticky bit where they thought it should be, which doesn't make the bonnet sit quite right, but with the new dash that should be sorted. But that is it for this video. We've done quite a lot of small jobs, which are all adding up on the Bolens HT23, and it's getting close to being the standard that we'd like when we're using it. But I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Please subscribe to my channel, like this video and see our other videos. More to follow as we do more on this tractor. Bye!